Hey, Victoria.
Yeah.
You're almost on the camera.
Hello.
There we go.
Move across.
Welcome to another exciting...
Episode of Feel It Real Fun. No, Feel It Real Fun for... Yeah, another exciting episode of Feel It Real Fun for you on
She makes it up as she goes along.
18th of Feb 2022.
That's right.
And it's your manifesting questions answered live.
That's right.
It's the special Yum edition.
Okay. See, I don't know where I can share it anymore.
Nah. Might need to join some more groups.
See, I thought I quit that one because they wouldn't let me put my shit in there.
Anyway, so go to freeneville.com.
221 email to pseudo.
Random goodness.
Make sure, see, when you put your name... See, here's the thing, right? It's not magic, but it seems like it, right? Because if you stand there and stare at the box, it doesn't do anything. You have to type your name, hit enter, and then you have to check your inbox. And when you check your inbox, if you don't find it there, you're looking to spam into promotions. Drag it over, click the confirmation link, and then we can send stuff to you every day till one of us
Dies. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Yo, Frank, Triple D.
Yeah, and I saw
Faith,
Angela. You
Emmanuel
spelt
Frank.
whoa wrong.
Whoa.
It's meant to be whoa.
What did-
W-H-O-A. She put, whoa. W-O-E. Whoa.
Put some
Hello,
mustard on
Molly
them biscuits,
and
Molly.
Valerie. Okay, and for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
All right, we got a lot of really good questions today, and one of them that's really
good.
great.
I knew he'd say that. Didn't you guys know that?
You guys have been
He
around the
does
block.
that all the time.
Susanna.
All right, and looks like they're actually long questions.
Yep, you don't have to type them all in when you do the edits, but just the
I never
highlights.
type any of the questions in.
All right.
So there you go.
See, I give her permission. She gives me apology.
That's
I mean,
right.
attitude.
Hello, Sizzler.
Triple D,
Alessandra,
Carolyn,
Carolyn.
Triple D, Angela. Look
Good
at all
one,
these.
Angela. You did it right.
By the way, you guys that have not done Triple D or MM yet, right? Definitely, seriously, $97, 98 program MM, we talk about all that. But we're gonna open up the door for Triple D again. I'm gonna start sending out some personal links this week coming up. But don't wait. Seriously, Ashley's done Triple D, Kadra's done Triple D. I mean, all these cool kids have done Triple D, and it's and MM as a given. But it's or you can go to Reddit forever, right?
Reddit forever.
Yeah, Reddit forever. So
Yeah.
anyhow, all right.
All right.
So Victoria, let us dive in.
We'll dive in. So the first question is from...
By the way, Amber says Triple D.
Yeah, Triple
Bennett
D
Gill,
rocks.
Triple
Hello,
D. Look at
Bennett.
those. Go, Triple D. Look at all these cool kids.
I know, rocking up. That's really nice. And I saw Alice, actually. I think she's been a terrific...
Oh, absolutely. She's a terrific Triple D.
Yeah, and there's Chris. He's a
Triple D. Triple Diego.
They're all here.
Angela did
And
Triple D.
Angela did Triple D.
That's right. She can't spell,
But she did Triple D.
but she can't act.
She can.
That's right.
Okay, so the first question's from Ajani via email. How many wishes? How to feel it real? Ajani says, "Good day, Mr. 2020 in Victoria." G'day, Ajani.
Good day back at you.
I'm emailing today because I have a question for you.
That's good.
I've purchased the Feel It Real Power Pack and I absolutely love it. It's a goodie, yeah. Now my question is, how many things can or should I visualise during one Feel It Real session? I have so many things that I desire to take care of using manifestation that I just want to do them all at once. What's your recommendation? Thank you for your time and the great work you two continue to do, Ajani.
We really do great work, every single day.
I do.
We do great work, making lunch in the garden with
Making
the puppies,
Lots
in
of
the hot
yums.
tub. I mean, you should see me in the hot tub, right? I had a conversation with Jen again from the hot tub today. She wasn't in the hot tub, but I was. But
Yes.
anyway, she had all sorts of shit hanging on the walls behind her. It was really cool. Because I
Was
said, look at my world, look at your world. My world's all kinesthetic and
Look out at roses and feel water.
then Jen's world's got all of her stuff all over the place. Wow. Everyone's got their own way of doing toys, right? Yeah. But here's the thing. Every day, right? So before I get out of bed, I do Victoria's Yum. right? And here's the answer for everything today, right? So what would I experience if I got a yummy email from Brian? Right? And I don't make it about a specific person. I just go, right. If I woke up and I came out and look, I got some yummy emails. Ooh, yum. People loving the course. And
Yeah.
then, of course, before I get out of bed, I'm also imagining in a separate little micro session, right? This whole thing of like Victoria's yum for lunch, right? So I propose to Victoria fish, right?
Yeah. Let's stop at the seafood
Right?
place. Yeah.
Right? We get some goody fish. We got some yummy prawns. We wait a couple hours, tune back in. You'll see them live for lunch.
And red
right?
snapper.
And red snapper.
Yum.
Love it.
Yeah.
But here's the habit. Ready? One session per wish, one wish per session. Really get in the habit of going, right, so before I wake up in the morning, and this Joseph Goddard thing that I developed, I made it up. Everyone remember that, right?
Well,
So,
Joseph might have.
well, Joseph did it, but I made it up as a method,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, right.
So before I get out of bed, before the feet hit the floor, I've already imagined a yum for lunch. What's my experience of her yum for lunch?
Yeah.
What's my experience of your yum loving manifesting mastery course.com? Yum. What's my experience of you enjoying the podcast? Because people share the podcast, that tells me they like it. People tend not to share things they don't like, right? So I like that the government's screwing us over, so we'll share that. So, right. But I won't dare share manifesting mastery. I mean, I feel it. I'll never mind. Right. Anyway, one wish per session, one session per wish. Watch how it filters into the other comments and questions here. And here's the big thing. People say, why can't I just make up one imaginal act to solve all my problems? And that's it. Because you're imagining a problem. See, there are times where I'm sitting there and we're watching the TV, and Triple D, Tony
Doyle arrives, yeah.
and I'll be sitting there, I'll be watching the TV, I'll think about I wonder what my friend Tony Doyle's been doing. It's been about 4 hours before he posted something, right? And then, like, all of a sudden I'll look over Victoria and I'll feel a desire. And then I'll imagine something. And then she'll find herself getting out of the chair and magically getting me a beer. Right? Or something like that. But let's keep going, because we're going to weave this in. One session per wish, one wish per session. Really get in the habit of that, right? And it's okay to imagine. I mean, I imagine having great days, but I really imagine specific events of my day already having gone my way, right? Like, imagine her yum after the show. Here's what I don't imagine, right? Because people say, well, that's just a little one, Mr. 20. It says, well, life's made of breaths, isn't it? So, like, a lot of people, they imagine they finish a show and they look over and they go, yeah, like Morning Wars, right? Right? That was a good show. Or they'd go, well, of course, I mean, anyone could imagine up a good lunch. Well, how was your lunch? Well, my lunch bloated, right? So you see, your lunch bloated because... Anyway, we'll get back to that. Cool. One session per wish, one wish per session.
Yes.
By the way, Tony Doyle does stuff like that. He's rushing it.
Yeah.
I'm working on that video thing, by the way. Since Tony Doyle's here, let's give him an update, personal update. That whole video program, when I do this, it did something weird. So I'm trying to get something going on with the customer service people. So just keeping you in the loop, Tony. It will come together, because I've imagined it. But let's do it.
Okay. So that was from Ajani. Thank you very much for your question, Ajani.
Oh, what was that?
We both got him today.
Oh, dear God.
Right. Put mine down.
Yes.
The next question's from Billy in Manifesting Mastery.
Yo, Billy.
I can't nail my imaginal act. Now, Billy says, when I'm doing sessions, I find myself falling into familiar patterns. For example, I want to do a feel-it real session that I've been picked to go on a delegation for work. Last year, our issued company polo shirts were green in colour. When I went on the trip last year, I wore the green polo on the plane. This year, our issued shirts are blue. When I do my session, I'm imagining myself seated on the plane. I see my dress shoes, my car keys. I hear the ding-dong of the flight PA system. When I look down to click my seatbelt into place, my collapse to a point, I see myself in green, in last year's shirt. When I do this over and over again, trying to force myself in a blue shirt, I'm fighting it. It's not coming from a place of naturalness or ease, which is tripping me up.
Alrighty, so here's what's really, 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 really cool. All right? Pick another point in time. If you're having problems with one point in time, it's like the whole thing of like I'm having problems imagining getting pregnant. Well, I imagine getting pregnant is fun, right? So like, so far I've never gotten pregnant, but I've had a whole lot of fun.
Trying,
Yeah, trying. I'm trying. Right? But here's what's really cool. Imagine coming back from the trip, right? So I don't know about you, but when I walk in, when I get home, there's these two dogs. They dance a lot. There's this woman. She dances a little, right? And so when I pull the car into the driveway and I got to approach the gate, right?
Yes.
And I look and there's two dogs that dance a lot and a woman that dances a little, and they're all happy that I'm back, right?
Yeah.
So you could use something like that. You're back from the trip, right? You don't got to see the shirt, but you could just go through the feeling of. By the way, have you ever been someplace? I mean, I don't care how nice the hotel beds are. I mean, I've slept myself in some fancy hotel beds. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even the ones like Angela Teresa knows all about these ones. You put the quarter in them and they vibrate. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah. You never used to vibrate in bed.
No.
Oh, we'll have to take you to that little motel in
I mean,
Pennsylvania. So you put the quarter in the bed and it does that, right? But there's something whenever you get home. I mean, like when you get home, you might not put a quarter in the bed and have it vibrate, but there's no place like home, says Kadra. Boom, right? So what's it like? You go to bed at night. I mean, every night you go to bed, don't you? Right? Let's assume most of them are at home in your bed.
Homeless, but yeah.
So you're going to bed in your bed tonight, and you could feel, what would you feel if you got back from the delegation and you're finally aching? My bed
Smells like me.
smells like me, walks like me, talks like me. Faith says, oh my God, the Poconos. I never made it to the Poconos, but we had them in southwestern Pennsylvania too. I forget the name of that one hotel. It was right on the bend when you're going from US Route 119 to US Route 119 going through Youngwood. Somebody look that down. There's a hotel right on the corner right there. So anyway.
Dark mockery says it raises something. Dark mockery.
Alrighty, stay tuned. We're going to keep going. But Billy, I think the big deal is find a different place and time. And the other thing is, if you're fighting with visual, you notice I'm into fighting. Where can you surrender? There's the big thing. Because if you're looking down and you're seeing the same damn shirt, I mean, you could look down and see Richard Branson's outfit on you, or you could just like imagine like what it's like to get home. I mean,
maybe he's going to do the strip, like he's wearing the old one over the new one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
plane.
you're fooling everyone.
Whoa.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We're going to keep exploring
Excellent.
this question and the previous one. And again, notice we're just one wish per session, within session per wish. What if you just surrendered to that feeling of falling asleep in your bed after having gone on that delegation? Boy, it was fun, but I'm just glad to be
tired. Yeah, I
home.
want my bed.
Yeah, I want to sleep next to my woman.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
All right.
All right. So that was for Billy. Thanks very much for your question.
Billy, don't be a hero. Who remembers that song?
Yeah, I remember that. I used to love that song.
Yeah, so did my cousin.
So did your cousin.
Yeah, his name was Billy. We don't talk no more.
Oh, my favourite song, of course, was...
She doesn't remember.
I do, but I don't remember the words. So I'll just go like... Da, 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 da. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Oh, Vicky. But I say, I know it's Mickey, but I say Vicky. Oh, Vicky. Oh, Vicky.
Yep, she blows my mind.
Okay.
Victoria. Victoria. Yo, Triple D Jess.
Okay, the next question is from Jen in Manifesting Mastery, Relationship Blues. Jen's also been in Driven Day. Unless
Different
it's a
Jen.
different Jen.
Yeah.
Oh, right, different Jen. Okay, Jen in Manifesting Mastery.
Yeah, this is different, Jen.
Okay, so hi TT and V.
Yo.
Thank you as always for your podcasts. So I feel that leading the dog is gold.
By the way, leading the dog, we did one on. You'll notice I absolutely hate the term 3D reality. My 3D is in war with my 4D, my 4D, my 50. Then there's the 7D. Wow, man, I just get really spaced the fuck out when I think about that. Here's Neville talked about it. I know once or twice, and then he stopped talking about it. Why? Because people probably did the old, well, my 3D versus my 4D, my 7D. What about the 13Ds? Wow, we didn't factor in the space times and right. But I talked about here's how it is. Ready? When you walk the dog, because somebody said, well, I ignore 3D. Says, how do you get not hit by the fucking bus?
Yeah.
Right? You don't ignore the 3D. Right? You lead it. Right? Sort of like in my analogy was this: if I'm walking the dog, I don't ignore it. Right? I lead it.
Especially if we're walking Bruce.
Exactly. Tony Doyle, I prefer the triple D's. That's it. Triple D, dream driven
Yeah.
day. It's not I'm ignoring my day because I want my someday to be better than my 2 day, so I'll ignore my 2 day so that my someday. Anyway, scrap all that. We'll just edit that section out. Didn't mean nothing to no one.
Can't edit it out.
I know, it means everything to everyone.
Jen goes on. So that said, my brain being is not embodying this consistently. How did you get it to be consistent? So your example of revising in the moment, I've done, experienced, and it's wild to watch. Recently, things have transpired in a relationship that one didn't see coming to the magnitude of the events between us or lack of communication or care. Does this happen to you, and what do you do? And two, is there ever a time where things just don't work out or it's meant to be? What are your thoughts on this concept? I'm in a tough state, heartache in brackets, lately, attempting to shift myself. With love, Jen.
Cool. I'm going to run with the last question because I can answer all of them with this. Ready? Is there ever a time when things don't work out? No. Things always work out. Right? Now, here's the thing. I'm not a believer in things. I'm a believer in you. Now, here's the big thing. Right? So I never imagine anything about specific people. When I do, it always leads to trouble. Right? If I let it be about me, it's always fun. Right? Always. So if I go, right, what do I want to be today? A bitchy, whiny husband. Right? I can slip into that state. May not be what I want to do, but then I can say, well, things always don't work out. Things are rough, so on and so forth. Any of us at any time can slip into a shit state. Right? Now, here's the thing. Any of us at any time can change you can change your state. Right? So if I'm in the state of happy, loving husband, it all works that way. But if I go into the state of Victoria must do this for me to be happy, or you must sign up for triple D for me to make money, right? Yeah, this is the one thing that I always love. People say, of course you can make your special person do what you want them to do. They're there to do your bidding because when you imagine something, everyone plays their part. So that means you can make them do what you want them to do. And I say, cool, sign up for triple D. And they're like, I don't want to. I said, let me get this right? So I'm imagining you in triple D. I'm imagining you selling your house, your car, your dog. I don't give a shit what you got to sell. I don't care who you have to. I don't care who you have to divorce. But you're getting in triple D, and you're getting in it this week. And they go, you're not right. I says, yeah, you're right. I'm not right. Right?
Not right.
Because here's the thing. I imagine triple D full of people that love the course. I imagine people doing manifestingmasterycourse.com that love what I do, pay what I ask, and tell others to do the same. Right? Join the course. It's good. Right? No, but this is my formula. Right?
Yeah.
I want to deal with people who go, $97 is not a big deal. I want to deal with people that go, I love what you do. I want to deal with people that go, you know what? I'm telling my brother he's an asshole. So I hope he does. So he probably won't sign up for your course, right? But this is the fun thing because whenever you start nailing stuff and it's always about you, right? You can't have you can't go into like a things don't work out. Happy, loving husband, right? Things work out if I'm in that state. If I'm in that state of having a shitstorm, have I ever been in the state of having a shitstorm? Yes, right? Guess what I get? Shitstorms. But I honestly can't continue to. In a shitstorm, I can go, it's her fault, it's his fault, something's fault. But as soon as I move into the state of right, then everything conforms. But doesn't mean she does my bidding. There's the big thing, because when you really start to explore this stuff, it's sort of like saying, well, I'm imagining Marky Mark signing up for Triple D and Marky Mark didn't. It's all fucking over now, right? I might as well quit. I don't know Marky Mark's. He didn't get on the early bird, so he didn't. He didn't pay me $500. It's all fucking over. I might as well quit. No, I just you get it. There's the thing. If as long as you make it about someone else in any way, you've got this capacity for hell. But on the other hand, if I go right, it's all about me. Right? When I experience her yum, when she comes in excited because she's finding not grasshoppers, the other thing. Praying mantises. She's finding praying mantises everywhere in the garden. Now, I don't sit around and go, I am imagining Victoria specifically finding praying mantises so that she comes in and she's happy today. No, I'm just experiencing a happy, loving husband. What does happy, loving husband want? Happy, loving husband wants her to be happy. And then she comes in and she's finding praying mantises all over the place, right? And of course, that's a sign. But more on that later. How do you think we did?
Yeah, I think you did ace, Babs.
Cool. When you lead the dog, you're leading you. When you lead you, everything else follows. There's the big thing. Stay tuned, Jen. We'll keep answering this as we go through the other questions because I like weaving it together and making people watch the whole fucking show.
Yes. Good one.
Yep, I'm imagining Jen watching the whole fucking show.
Cool. Thanks, Jen.
And just for fun, join us in Triple D. If you feel drawn to it, in all seriousness, I'm seeing comments right now. Tony Doyle just talked about investing $3K in Remarkable and so on and so forth. This is all about exploring. To me, this is all about exploring. This is all about exploring you. And more to come.
And Tony used the well, whatever word, the best word, what brilliant word, but that it's an investment in yourself. It's nothing to do with how much it's cost you.
Yeah, we just signed up for Binge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they've invested in Binge.
Yeah, thanks, Tim Norman, right?
Entourage. And Joe
and
Weldon.
Joe Weldon.
He said it was good.
Triple D Joe.
Yeah, excellent.
Yo.
All
right.
The next question is from Nancy in Manifesting Mastery. Manifesting clients you love. And Nancy says, Dear 2020.
Yep.
I've heard you saying you only work with people whom you enjoy working with. How do you reject the ones you don't like working with?
Those are the people that end up on Reddit. But anyway.
For about 3 years, I keep getting shit students I hate to teach, but they pay what I ask them to. Out of desperation for money, I've been teaching them, but they created a lot of problems for me, including duplicating my classes, as we've discussed earlier. Could you please tell me, how do you only find students whom you love working with? I used to do it for a couple of years after I started teaching, but unwittingly. Now I cannot figure out what I did. I have no fair reason to tell the students I hate to enrol that why I can't take them. I'd love to know how you do it so I can make something personal for me so I get students who I enjoy working with. Thank you.
Cool. So it really comes down to me being a selfish, greedy bastard. Somebody hashtag that. Yeah. I really am. I seriously am. The thing I am most selfish with is my time. Tony Doyle thought I was swinging a dead mouse by the tail. No, it was just a clicker. Look at that. I just love my clicker. Right. So this is my core imagining when it comes to business. Right? I work with people who love what I do, who pay me what I want, and refer others who do the same. That doesn't mean I don't have a turd show up in the bucket once in a while, right? And there's the fun thing. I get to go radio, right? What am I actually imagining now? Because a lot of people, especially artists, right? Artists and spiritual people. Right? We have to support the artists. We have to, spiritual people. I mean, we don't really want to complicate ourselves up with money and stuff. Neville was spiritual. Neville hired someone to run his business, right? Neville had a business, right? If you read, what Neville tended to charge for a week and the size of the crowds that he demanded, right, didn't settle for, he made money more like Tony Robbins. Right, so we can like kick all the, all that other stuff aside, but here's the fun thing: you really get to notice what do you imagine about artists? What do you imagine about spiritual people? What do you imagine about people about just making money while doing what you love, because this is what I imagine every day. I get up and I've got emails. I've got comments on Instagram. I've got comments on Facebook. I've got comments on the YouTubes and all that stuff. The TikToks.
The TikToks.
The TikToks. I still can't get my head around it. But here's the fun thing. Whenever you really start to just play a little tiny bit and you go, right, you know what? This is what I'm going to settle for. I'm going to settle for people who love what I do, who pay what I want, and who refer others to do the same. Right, done and dusted. And it's the attitude. It's like, you ever notice some people, they walk into the grocery store and they hope that someone will wait on them, and like 40 fucking minutes later, they're still hoping. Versus I walk in and I can be way back in the room and they go, you back there. Yeah. Me. Yeah, with the funny hat. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, give me a slice of ham. Right. Thanks. Right. Boom.
Yeah.
Right. Anyone want to pet the cat while he's here? Yeah. Oh dear. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Right. Another thing is, do you honestly believe that you can make money, right? Or do you have to sacrifice to make money? Yeah, some people believe, honest to God. Victoria, we've both been in relationships before.
We have.
Yep. Now, here's what I noticed. When you're in a relationship, you tend to be thinking about things like a good relationship has boundaries. Good relationship requires compromise. Good relationship requires that both people give 110%.
Yeah,
right.
That's fair.
So meanwhile, I sit around and I go, right, I'm going to put up some boundaries. Keep that woman the fuck away from me. Hey, fuck you, woman. Yeah. What else am I going to do? I'm going to put myself some boundaries up.
Pretend you're busy. So it looks like you're
busy.
110%.
Yeah. I got to give 110%. I'm going to give 115. That way I can give more than you do.
So you're better.
Yeah, I'm better than you, right? Yeah, versus like, radio. Like, what do you believe about money? What do you believe about relationships? And again, it also comes back to, and a relationship happens between any two quote unquote beings, right? Me and Bruce have a relationship, right? Yeah, we got a really good one. Like, seriously, I lay in bed and we give kisses to each other. It's just lovely.
It's gorgeous.
And then I roll up and I give kisses to Victoria. She's like, your kisses taste like dog kisses. But anyway, I think that's pretty good. Nancy.
Okay, cool. So that was for Nancy. Thanks very much for your question, Nancy. The next question's from Riri in Manifesting Mastery. Middles versus specific manifesting. Riri asks, I hear not to be specific a lot, as it's a middle, but we have specific desires, like we like a particular car, a brand, a place, a job position or career. So can I not at all expect getting what I really love? Is it always a middle if I like something particularly? Also, what do you mean when you say, when women feel sexy, man knows it? I'm waiting for the podcast on it. Love you, TT and V.
Okay, cool. I'll
take care. Bit more.
I'll take care of the PS bits.
Okay.
All right. So here's what's really cool, right? I'm into specifics. I'm the guy when people say, I'm just imagining everything all the time, always having worked out my way. Amen. I tend to go, rightio, right? And I get it. Here's the thing. I generally imagine my days worked out pretty fucking well, right? At the end of the day, when I lay down in bed, I'm done, right? And I'm done in a lovely way. It was a good day. I hung out with the woman. I got to hang, play with you guys. I had a great call with Joe Weldon. Right? Yeah, see, those are the things that I imagine. What was my day like? Right? So there is a generalness there. But like I keep saying, and a lot of people keep skipping this. Before I get out of bed, I don't do my Joe Weldon before I gotta get out of bed. If I did, here's my Joe Weldon routine. What the fuck? Right? Right? So
hang on, I just got to hitch up a fraction.
Yeah, we're sinking.
We are.
You ever notice at the beginning of the show we're taller?
Yeah, I know. The rungs of the ladder behind our head.
Yeah, we just keep getting a little shorter, right? Yeah, you should, dude.
What the fuck?
So maybe I do it, Joe Weldon, before I got out of bed. So my Joe Weldon and my Joseph Goddard routines. But I really do take the time, one session per wish, one wish per session. As I'm waking up in the morning, I just go, right, what have I got on today? Adelia. Boom. Oh, yeah. What else? What do I got going on today? Joe Weldon. Yeah, good call, TT.
He does you well, Joe. Yeah.
I wake up. How's the dog park? He was a good boy. Wake up. Ooh, yum. Oh, yeah. I'm the fucking man. Action is self-predominant. Boom. Right? I nail these specifics. Now, here's the thing. You mentioned down below you want to be working with specific premium, expensive brands like Gucci, Dior, Jordan, da-da-da-da-da-da. Cool. What would imply you're doing that? In other words, why do you... Yeah, at the end of the day, again, if I don't get a problem with you imagining that. I do have a problem when people go, oh, I'm imagining that specific person doing this specific thing to make that specific thing happen. It's like, Victoria, when she got her car, I just imagine her being happy with it. Right? I don't imagine what Mal does, what David Brown Mechanical does. I don't imagine what the guy at the fucking DMV does. I could give a shit what it, but 99% of the people on the planet, I don't care what y'all do. I don't, right? I'll imagine lovingly, right? So I imagine Victoria coming back. See, happy, loving husband, my fucking yum. She walks through the door, and I see, hey, how'd it go? She goes, it was a little more than I expected because I had to pay stamp tax too. Cool. You have enough? Yep. Done. Boom. Right? Everyone's fucking happy. Happy, loving husband. My experience of her yum getting home from the DMV, right? No problems. This is where it's fun. Then we hand it over to Timmy to put the Rego plates on. Because the Rego plates in Victoria are not designed to go on BMWs.
On European cars.
Alrighty, So, this whole thing is about specific. I'm big into nailing specifics. What I'm not into is micromanaging. Who grew the pork? Who made the sauce? Which cow did the butter come from? That's where things get weird. The specific that matters, my experience that implies my wish is fulfilled. Right? I don't determine what Joe and I will talk about or what Adelia and I will talk about. What I imagine at the end is, right? My experience of their yum. So, let's keep going. That's good. And with the sexy thing, right?
What's
right?
the sexy thing?
When women feel sexy, a man knows it, right?
Yeah.
So this is a completely separate question, but we'll tie it in. Ready? Here's a great definition of a middle. If I wear high heels and short shorts, guys will think I'm sexy, right? Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you go to the shops and you look over and there's a girl in high heels and short shorts, and a guy goes, damn, look at me at that.
Look at me at that.
Right? Right. And then there are times you go to the shops and it's the same fucking outfit on a different woman's. Right? Adelia, look at that. Yeah. And you look over and you go, that's like a fucking train wreck in short shorts and heels, right? I'm just going to look the other way. That's fucking scary, man. A guy knows it, right? Now, here's the thing. You women know it too, right? You know when the guy's on the prowl versus the guy's a good catch, that kind of thing. Or if you want a guy on the prowl, what the fuck? You know, it's whatever your thing is. But whenever you feel sexy, you are. The heels don't make the woman sexy. Now, if the woman feels sexy and puts the heels on, boom, right? That's part of the expression of it. That's the whole thing there, right there. Train wreck shorts.
Yeah.
So,
Yum.
nothing makes you sexy. You make whatever it is sexy. That's the thing, right? And you can see this all day long. It's sort of like whenever you look at the guy that's wearing like the gold rings and the jewelry and all that stuff, and it's like,
the train wreck
yeah,
shorts.
it's like I'm rich, I'm cool, and you're just going, that guy is a DIK, right? So, but let us continue.
Okay, excellent. So that was
Frank,
for...
preach it.
Yeah, preach it.
Yipper.
That was for Riri. Thanks very much for your question, Riri.
Her name's actually Rai Rai. I've never bothered correcting you because I know like how you get when I correct you in public. Right? It's sort of like, please don't spank me in public.
So you reckon it's Rai Rai?
No, it's not Rai.
I was going to say, you call her Riri. Okay. I just saw a douche.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send that to us in a message. Way too much. Sorry,
Oh
pal.
no, someone before that talked about a douche.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what it was. All right, the next question's for Terry.
Yo,
How do you quiet the mind? Terry asks, my mind is always going. How do you quiet the mind? Thanks, TTMV.
ready. Asking how to quiet the
Ready?
mind is sort of like asking, how do you stop breathing?
Right.
Yeah, every day. I mean, every day you're breathing in, you're breathing in, you're breathing out, you're breathing in, you're breathing out. Everybody do it with me. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in.
Breed or breathe?
Yeah, breathe in, breathe out. I want you to take a long, deep breath. Breast in, breast out, right? How do you quiet the mind? I think we talked earlier this week about humors. Yeah, here's the thing. You're the silence that all the apparent motion is within. You're the silence that can take on a state. So you are the silence. You are unconditioned awareness. The silence of you hears the sound of my voice. The silence of you, the stillness of you, notices the motion of my lips, right? This is so much fun. That guy's an asshole. It's true, right?
Yep.
But here's the cool thing. You don't got to silence the mind. As soon as you get that, everything changes because you are the silence. Now, here's the thing. Inside the silence, your awareness of being is God. That's unconditioned awareness. Now, you step down a little bit. When you condition awareness, that's the imagination. Right, Dinesh, I can't read all that. I'm sorry. You're going to have to send it before the show or send me an email.
Yeah.
So when we can start to condition the awareness, so the state of loving husband, the state of loving teacher, the state of loving puppy dad, all three of those have different yackers. We'll just call that mind thing that you want to silence the yacker. Yeah. So the yacker for loving husband goes, yuck, yuck, yuck. Get her some flowers. Give her wine. How about some chocolate? Right? Instead of loving, the state of loving puppy dad has another yacker. It goes, good boy, sit. The state of loving teacher goes, that guy's a dick. Right? So they all three got different yackers going on in there. Right? Yeah. But I'm the silence that notices all three of them and much, much more. Right? So again, do you want to stop breathing? Right, the purpose of the breeder is to breed, right? Taking a deep breath, right? The purpose of the yacker is to yak, but the yakker's like something about the size of this clicker inside the size of this house. We just found these. Oh my God! See, you hear that? It makes noise, and most of the time it doesn't. But when it makes noise, it gets your attention, doesn't it? But if you keep your attention on the house while it makes noise, it's not a big deal. So how do you quiet the mind? By the way, one more. If you don't like what your mind's revealing, right, you're probably in a shit state. Because been there, done that. I dropped myself into a shit state, and the mind is coming up with all sorts of dumb shit. And it wasn't until I could have a nice giggle that I could just go, righty-o, I'm the silence that notices the dumb shit. Right? Let's put an end to the dumb shit. Anyway, take a flamethrower to it. How's that, Victoria?
Yeah, that was great.
I think so. A lot of words for about quieting the mind.
I know. That was for Terry. Thanks very much for your question, Terry.
Terry, that's Terry with an I.
With an I. Now, the next question, is this Oliver?
It's Oliver.
Okay, so the next question's for Oliver.
Question today
Manifesting
from
Mastery.
Oliver.
Money and middles. So Oliver says, my actual desire is to have money and live alone. I imagined this a couple of times and I know it doesn't feel natural. I never really felt like I moved. I'm still holding on to the middle of the money and how to get it. Even in the group, people tell me I should look for work or do something different in my life. But my real desire at the moment is just live in a nice home by my own and live a more luxurious life. I get caught in trying to figure out ways to make money because I can't expect it to fall out of the sky. Or can I?
Sure. Here's the cool thing. I am not the most popular guy in the law of attraction field, right? Because sometimes, I'll admit it, I took temp jobs at different points in time in my life. Here's the thing, though. I was imagining teaching. And every temp job that I had while building my teaching practice, every single job, I swear to God, gives to clients to this day. Because I worked in finance, I worked in medical, I worked in sales, I worked in communication, I worked as a police officer. All these things contribute to me being a teacher today. And I mention this because if you're imagining, I say, I get you have a couple desires here. I'd start divorcing these desires.
Yeah.
Right? You want to have a decent income? Imagine what implies you have a decent income. All right? Maybe it's being able to buy a cup of coffee. Maybe it's being able to buy a venti cup of coffee. You know what I mean? Like some people, they just get the little one. It's like, fuck it, all I can afford is the little cup of coffee. Right? So you get the little one, right? But if maybe it's you want a venti, you imagine buying a venti and paying for the venti and the person coming up behind you, right? You start having some little bit of fun kind of things. You want to live on your own? Cool. You imagine what it's like living on your own. You could experience it, living at home with mom as a memory.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, you really get to nail what implies it in some fun ways. And it can be stuff as ridiculous as that whole thing of like, make mine a venti, make theirs a venti too. Right? Pay for the person behind you. Right? It's so much fun. Like in Triple D, one of the things that I bring up is play these little fucking games. And like I can remember many, many years ago, like I'd be in line at the Starbucks because that's the one place you get good coffee in the U.S. And like I'd be like, and the little girl behind the counter would say, "Can I have your name, please?" And I'd say, "No." And I'd say, "Put that on the cup," right?
No.
So they put that on the cup, and they say,
spell it Know.
one did. She was gorgeous, Austin, Texas, right? And she goes, "What do you want?" I said, "Give me a venti of that Colombian shit, some other stuff." And the person behind me, "What do you want?" And you turn to the person behind you, and they're fucking losing it, right? It's like, "Yeah, what do you want? I'll pay for it. I'm in that kind of a mood today." And the next thing you know, I'm buying somebody else's stuff. They say, "Give me a muffin too." Right? But this, it's called making friends. It's called stretching. It's called doing the thing which is not politically correct, And you can have some fun with this. And that's what I'd do. If you're finding this getting too serious, you can add some humor into it. If I lived on my own, if I was a young mid-20s kind of guy living on my own, I'd have me a full-size cardboard Richard Branson in the crib just for fun, Like what can you imagine if that would just be fun that implies your wish is fulfilled? So that's what I'd do. And you get to discover things. Like I remember the best job I ever had was being the bingo guy at the old folks home, right? And Dinesh, sincerely, there's a problem. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I can't read the long posts. I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
Send me an email.
We got to have the questions
so you're
before
trying
the
to
show.
you're trying to interrupt the show because you got a problem. Send me an email, right? You're focused on problems, right? Stop it right now. Leave the show. Send me an email, right? Because it doesn't matter if there's sincerely a problem. What matters is how can we help you? And I can't help you by reading a long post right now. Sorry about that, but you just stop and be still right now. Here's the message for you, and I'll toss this into some other things. Stop and be still. The cortisol right now is driving you to keep tossing up these long posts. Stop and be still right now. Notice you're the stillness. Let the answers that I've given here so far give to you. And I promise you, by the time you write me an email, if you stop and be still right now, that'll rock your world. Okay? Cool. By the way, I appreciate your persistence. Kadra, first principle. You got it. Stop and be still. Stop and be still, and that yacker will take up a lot less space. So, best job I ever had, I didn't want. Right? So here I am, all of a. I'm going down to the park every day. I'm doing my practices, so on and so forth. I come home, I open up the newspaper. I would have been in my 20s back then. So I open up the newspaper, right? And in the newspaper, this is where we look for jobs back in the old days. You cut down trees, turn them into paper, put some ink on them, right? In the middle of the paper, right, there's this gold glowing ad. Come work in the old folks' home. Holler out bingo numbers, right? Smell shit all day and chemicals. And it's glowing gold. And I'm like, fuck me. So I asked the woman I was with, And I said, woman that I'm with,
The woman that I'm with.
will you look at the newspaper? And she looks at the newspaper. I says, tell me about this ad. She goes, it's an ad. I says, what do you notice about it? And she goes, it's an ad. It's like, radio. Is it glowing or anything to you? No. Fuck me. So I don't even get dressed up. I get like semi-dressed up. My shirt's probably half hanging out. You know, I didn't even put on a tie right. You know, probably left it untied. Probably wore 2 different color shoes, that kind of shit.
Probably tied it in a bow.
And tied a regular tie in a bow, right? As bad as I can screw it up. And I take me on the job interview, right? So I go to the old folks' home. I go to the job interview, and you can tell the lady's going, right? So you ever worked with old people before? Nope. Do you like old people? Nope. Why are you here? It has to do with colors, but we're not going to go there. And so after all that, she gives me the tour of the nursing home, right? Mm-hmm. Introduces me to Betty. Betty's in a wheelchair. Betty's had about 900 fucking strokes, and Betty's sitting on a corner in a wheelchair. And she goes, I want you to meet Betty. And I squat down and I go, hi, Betty. And Betty goes, how's it going? But it sucks. Yep, how's the food here? Yep, I'll bring my own. Right? So long story short, she calls me up. Like, not Betty.
That'd be funny.
But the lady that works there, 4 days later, she calls me up and she goes, I got a problem. And says, it sounds like I got one too. And she goes, I interviewed like something like 11 people for the job. I says, good. She goes, but I got a problem. I says, what's your problem? She goes, my problem is you're the only one that squatted down and talked to Betty. Everyone else just stood there and talked to her. Fuck me. Right? Okay. Took the job. Had a great time. Right? While I was there, I imagine I wanted to get done being the fun and games guy, which is what they hired me to be. Imagine me, the fun and games guy in an old folks home. Right? Yeah. Anyway, while I was there, I imagine being part of the treatment team. For some reason, they transferred me over to restorative nursing, ran me through like 10 or 11 different programs so I could run that department legally. Right? You're supposed to be an RN. I'm not a real nurse. I don't even play one. But they put me through like 12 little programs to give me all sorts of medical knowledge that serve me to this day. Right? So I mentioned all that because there's an adventure. Right? Boom. So, Olive,
yeah,
imagine,
he's just arrived.
Cool.
So,
So play with what we talked about, right? Imagine what implies your wish has been fulfilled and take whatever adventures you take. Because, like personally, like I can't imagine what my life would be like if I skipped working in that place. Yeah, that was just, and they just popped up on my Facebook feed the other day. I'm telling Victoria, wow. Like, But that's another story.
One thing you mentioned was about feeling living with your mum as in your past, or
as feeling it as a memory.
Was.
Yep.
And I was thinking how another thing is like you can invite your mum over to you'll cook her dinner. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
In your new joint.
Boom.
But yeah, Oliver, I saw you arrive right towards the end there. So
you missed all the good shit.
Yeah.
Oliver missed the good shit.
Your question.
Somebody hashtag missed the good shit.
Yeah.
By the way, I am the best at color and shape bingo.
Yeah. Color and shape.
Absolutely. Purple triangle. Purple triangle. They can watch all the old CIA agents in the room. Like suddenly they go into deep trance. Like it's Operation Purple Triangle. Is this a triangle? No, Evelyn. That's a circle. Is this purple? No, purple's what I'm wearing. I love it. Seriously, it was a great job.
Good one.
Yep.
Excellent. And the last question today is from Jason on Facebook. How to manifest my dream life. And Jason asks, my desire has always been to be a rich and successful music artist and live my dream life. What is the best way to manifest all of this? Cool.
So I love teaching. Right? I've imagined teaching for the longest time, and I do it, right? Because the state of teacher is just something I enjoy, right? Same thing with the state of business guy, right? I just love business. I'm a little nuts about it. Meanwhile, I imagine up all these little wins that are inside both of those. All right, imagine loving happy husband. By the way, loving happy husband loves when he gets to like sit with her and do this and so on and so forth. And so my advice to you would be take the tools and use them for everyday wins. Because what often happens when I read something like my desire has always been, so I've had a desire, it's always been there, rich and successful. Those are almost buzzwords, musical
Live my
artist, dream life.
life. Yeah, it
That,
sounds.
that's all someday fantasy feeling to me.
Yeah.
When almost any time someone gets me on a one-on-one call, and they go through that, and I'll watch their eyes. Yeah, I want someday, some things. Yep. And I want you to start having daily wins. I'll do a crash commercial, manifestingmasterycourse.com, $97, 90-day program, buck a day, yada, yada, yada. I want you to explore, ideally, I'd love to have, quote unquote, you in this course. I'd love everyone in the world to take it, to be honest. I mean, that'd be a lot of fucking emails to deal with.
It would.
But it would be, but it's really cool because I want you to get how this fits in with your life, not how your life fits in with your desire. Because your desires are a subset of you. The biggest thing that I would suggest, so we're going to give you two pieces of meat. One, if you fell asleep having had the kind of day that you want. Okay, I don't know what a musical artist does all day or whatever like that. I know what I do all day. I know what it's like to get to the end of the day and I'm done. I'm satisfied. I'm done. I'll be doing more of it tomorrow. Right? I imagine as a musician, you probably play every day. Right? But there's that thing about falling asleep feeling satisfied about what you've done. Notice I'm not saying I imagine answering emails while I'm falling asleep. If I do that, I'll get up and answer fucking emails. Right? I imagine what it feels like having had done what I've desired to do. And the second thing, I've talked about it earlier in today's show, my whole Joseph Goddard routine. Start having daily wins. You guys in Triple D, one of the things that we tell people that sign up for Triple D right from the beginning, every day, imagine having had gotten gold from today's lesson. And we can tell who does it and we can tell who doesn't. Some people, they just hope to get something from a lesson. Some people know this, hopefully this next lesson will be what changes my whole life. I want you to get gold every day. And that little habit of before your Triple D lesson, imagine having had already gotten gold. What would you experience if you already have had gotten gold from that? There'd be some sort of feeling, maybe of anticipation of implying it, of that status of knowing, yeah, this is what I've been doing recently. I feel good about myself. Just there's where the roots start. So, how to manifest your dream life? You give life to your chosen day. What's it feel like to having had that? One more angle of approach. If you were a writer, okay, I'm a writer. I write every day. Pretty much no exceptions. I can guarantee no exceptions if we include me answering emails and posts, because emails, posts, and comments become articles, right? But they inspire me for that. So, like, literally every day, I imagine having had written, okay, what serves people, what gives them gold. So as a writer, there's another thing. When people tell me, yeah, I want to be a writer, when's the last time you written? 5 years ago? Radio. You don't want to be a writer. You want to have a book, right? Find someone else to write it for you. So that's, I'd wiggle that all into identity. So I think that's good.
So
Cool.
that was for Jason.
And if you haven't already, easymanifestingmethods.com. Do those 7 little lessons. Those will give you the tiny little, those will give you the 3 tools and a little bit of philosophy behind them so you can really nail this stuff. Because you really got to nail it. Bring it to your day. Boom.
Excellent.
All right.
Thanks for your question, Jason. And what we'd like to know is tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry bit? What was your hashtag strawberry bit, babe?
My hashtag strawberry bit was, God, I forget the name, but I got to tell him to stop. I got to,
Sorry.
I got to tell him to stop and be still. Literally,
Dinesh,
yeah. If you're having a meltdown, we've all had meltdowns. Who here has had a meltdown?
Yeah.
Right? If you're having a meltdown, stop and be still. Prune the vine. When you notice it starts back up again, stop, have a giggle, celebrate noticing it. You're the stillness that notices. Being able to share that live with all the other stuff, coolio. Right? Because whatever you send me, by the way, in the email, it's all going to come down to that anyway. Okay? Notice you are the stillness. Stop and be still. Right? Stop and be still. Celebrate noticing. Then you can give life to some lovely. But don't let that fucking vine grow wild. Yeah. And we all do it. And Olive says, only this week I melted down in front of y'all. Yeah, cool, man. And you got to own it. This is where I fucking am. Right? And we all said, hey, how's it going, buddy? Stop and be still. Yeah. And look at what that post gave to people. That's the cool thing. So Joe Weldon says douche.
Douche. Is that his strawberry bit?
It's a douche. Yeah. Olive says, you guys are awesome. So are you, buddy.
Oh, good on you, Olive. Yeah, my strawberry bit was probably, like you mentioned, Joseph Goddard so many times, like in the events of your day already having gone your way in the mornings, and how realising how the DDD thing that you said is exactly the same, already having gotten gold from the lesson before you even read it. So it's like, yeah.
That's it.
Same thing. Love it.
So, if you haven't done MM yet, do it. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. We'll get back into that in a moment. Triple D, I'm sending out some early bird links this week. Coming up. If you want one, let me know. Don't dick around.
Yeah.
Dick around. Okay, you did the closing, Victoria.
Oh, excellent.
Look at all that. Ashley typed a whole bunch of letters.
20 always says
the same thing, and I keep getting more and more gold. It's because you're mining and refining it. Mining and refining it.
Some dogs leave a mark in this world, says Joe.
Yes. Some leave
on
it.
Hands, was
Some leave it on a finger.
Scar.
This is the scar I got in Australia.
Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, go to freeneville.com.
221 email is pseudo.
Random goodness.
Click the link in the confirmation email. Drag it to your inbox.
Yeah.
John Mance, yo, buddy.
Hello, John. Good on you. Got your strawberry bit. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
Right. Buck a day.
Olive said he's doing it, and it's awesome.
That's right.
Thank you, Olive. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right. This will be live up there in about 20 minutes.
Oh, and Jan learned not to dick around. Good one, Jan.
That's young Krista. He joined us for lunch.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh, no, he did.
He did.
Remember the one day?
Did you enjoy the lunch?
No. He joined us. Remember, he accidentally hit the button. Young Krista.
Did he?
Yes. So we brought him in for lunch.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. He was going, that looks good.
I
That
do
looks
remember. Yes, you were lovely. How much you liked it. Yeah, we could tell.
That looks
Your
so
mouth
good.
was watering. It's like you were licking your lips.
Yeah, I have to get up and have a snack.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent.
That was awesome.
Yes, accidentally. Cool.
By the way, here's what's fun. Almost never do we, like, when someone says they went in, do we hit something? Because then, because it probably is an accidental thing most of the time. But for whatever that day, and we had a lovely little, like, get together and then a chat afterwards, like through the emails.
Yeah, nice.
But, Tony Doyle, something about boobs.
I know, I saw something going through about boobs. I think I saw Kadra, or someone
take
say,
a deep breath.
Tabitha said to Kadra, bring your own boobs. Or something.
Right.
I was like, what? But I had to ignore that because I'm the serious one on the show.
That's right. Yeah, she's Bert. I'm Ernie.
Boobs, says Angela. Boobs, capital letters, says Joe.
Boops.
All right, that was our show.
I think it was a good show today.
It was a good show.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look how short we are now.
I know, I've shrunk right down. Always bring the boobs, please. All right.
All right.
Have a great day, night, weekend, and we'll catch you next week.
Somebody on the YouTube said, that microphone looks like a And I said,
oh, what? Like a what?
And I said, microphone?
What are you talking
What microphone?